Hello, I'm Nikki Bonfanti. My company is Trusted Sales Dynamics, and my mission is to help women business owners who love to serve but hate to sell find a way, a unique way that's their own way of selling that is more fun and more rewarding in every sense. So that's who I am, and today I'm going to take up a couple of minutes to talk to you about consistency, because a lot of the people that I work with have personality profiles that are really sociable and creative and love variety and doing new things. And the thought of doing something consistently, something over and over and over again, is exactly the reason why they left their job in the first place and wanted to start up their own company. So I want to talk to you about how consistency can actually be fun and rewarding, because doing things over and over again doesn't necessarily have to be dull and boring, particularly when that thing that you're doing brings in consistent sales. Imagine consistent emails on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis even, emails bringing you in news that you're going to be working with new people, that you've got people who value you on a regular basis, that are willing to pay you on a regular basis, you've got money going into your bank in a consistent way. So consistency, when you look at it from that point of view, is actually really fun and rewarding. Do you agree? So how can you be more consistent in sales? The three things I want to share with you today. The first one is consistency in your message and your mission. I see so many people who set up businesses at the beginning, and maybe they love to, I don't know, be a photographer or be a therapist or be a coach. And as time goes by, maybe they get bored with it, or they get interested in other things, or maybe they need to supplement their income, so they add extra things to their offering. And if those extra things are completely different to their original premise, their original business, it can look a little bit flaky. It can look a little bit like they're not really committed to their path. And you need to think about where your credibility lies and how you can build trust on that regular basis. So if you've got an idea for a business and you've stuck to it and you're just adding things that supplement it or complement it, that's really good, because you're keeping to your message and you're keeping to what it is that you set out to do. If you're adding on things that don't really fit together, then the best thing to do is to find a story that does. Maybe you've got a charity or a cause that you feel really strongly about and you'd like to incorporate it in your business. That's all good. That can add from both sides. You can give a percentage of your business element to the charity that you've chosen. The charity can help be made more aware of through your business contacts. So there's lots of things that you can mix and match to make it actually work and make it your unique story. But if you've started as a life coach and then you've tried to sell face creams, and then you've gone on to do financial coaching, or you keep swapping around, then it's not going to be really consistent unless you've got a really good story that links it all together, that links it all to you. So that's my first thing. Be consistent in what you stand for. Be consistent in your message and who you're helping. I've been a little bit all over the place, it might look like from the outside, because when I first started my business nearly 8 years ago, I set up as Manage to Improve, and it was all about sales management and management training. It still was sales, and I still built on my sales background, but I was focusing more on the management side of things. But as I went networking, I met so many people, and I hadn't realised how difficult selling was for a lot of people. So that really made my mind up that rather than focusing on sales managers who kind of knew what they were doing, they just needed help with their people skills, I could help a lot more women if I focused on sales skills. So managed to improve. I had my whole program of selling from the heart back in 2013, and that evolved into learning more about personality types and how different personality types worked. So that became Trusted Sales Dynamics, which is still my business today. And within that business, I created programs like the Predictable Income and Profits program, which is now in its third year. Every year it's slightly different as my thinking becomes different, and I add things to it and I take things away from it because I always put too much in my programs. But I keep going with this. When I first started, I would have an idea, I would throw it out there, see who was interested, and if nobody was, then I'd move on to the next one. Now I'm a lot more consistent in what I do, and I do some research and I check with people before I launch a program. Then I do a beta launch, like I've just done a pilot study for my Sell Like a Woman program, which is going to go a lot bigger. But I'm getting feedback from that right now, so I know how to promote it in the future. So it's all building on that consistency. So that was point one. Point two is about be consistent in your learning. Now this is something I'm telling myself as well, because I love to learn and I love going on courses and I love signing up for courses, online courses, workshops, whatever. Are you the same? And when I sign up for stuff, I don't always do it and I don't always implement it. But what I'm trying to teach myself is that everything I learn then becomes part of my business, and I keep it focused. And I particularly myself learn best from teaching. So when I invest in a program, I have got two goals in mind. One is how I can use it to improve my own business, and the second is always how can that improve the businesses of my clients and incorporate it into one of my programs. So in the past few years, yes, I've learned different things around personality profiles and how to be more vital and fulfilled as a woman, more on the life coaching side of things, which has really helped me help my clients stop from getting burnt out and overwhelmed. And I'm starting to see a more holistic view of sales, that it's not just the strategies and the techniques and the templates. It's not all of that. 5 steps to an easy sale is not all of that, but it all starts with your mindset. It all starts with really understanding who you are, what you've got to sell, and your sales confidence. So I'm working in a much more holistic way. So everything I learn now goes into my programs to help women to really find who they are, find out what their particular issues are, what their particular self-limiting beliefs are, and help them through that. So, because once they're through that, then yes, they can take up the 5 steps here and the secret formula there. They can do that. But until you've got that mindset, until you've got that sales confidence, you can't. So my second point was be consistent in your learning and make sure it all goes towards the same goal. The reason for that is because if you learn lots and lots of different things, you find that the more you learn, the more you lose, and it erodes your learning, and it all kind of gets mished up and you can't remember stuff, and particularly if you haven't implemented any of it. But if you learn in a cumulative way, like as you save money, as you save learning in the same way, if you learn it in a cumulative way, it's easy to say, then it builds on it and it makes that learning deeper and more profound, so that it actually becomes more valuable. So that's why I say be consistent in your learning. And the third one kind of goes back to this image I put up earlier of practicing. I mean, this image is all about pick your race, pick the race or the game that you want to be in, which makes you consistent for what you stand for, and then be consistent in your learning. I mean, if you're a hurdler or if you're an athlete, you're going to do training in physical fitness, you're going to do training in speed, you're going to do training in different areas, but it's all to the same goal. So it all goes together in the same goal. And this final one is all about practice. You can't be good or master what you want to do unless you practice. So practicing things on a regular basis, and this might be where people think, oh, that's too boring, but there are ways that you can do it quickly so it doesn't take up too much time, and there are ways you can make it more fun. When I think about the most boring thing that I've got to do is probably housework. So I use a timer, a 15-minute timer. So I go into a room, put the 15-minute timer on, zap around the room as quickly as I can, and when the timer goes off, I either think, yay, job done, don't have to do it anymore, or I think, okay, I'm on a roll, I'm going to do a bit more. But it's my choice then. It's that timer that gets you going. It's that timer that makes you think it's only a short amount of time, so I might as well do a bit. The same you could do for your filing, the same you could do for updating your customer relation management system with all the business cards you've collected, the same with all kinds of things you can do in sales. Now, doing small things on a consistent basis extraordinarily well is going to beat doing something amazing every couple of months. If you do it consistently, it all builds up. It builds up trust in your clients, so they get to know you and they get to depend on you and they know what you stand for. And it also builds up results. The more momentum you get, the more results you get. So definitely doing activity gets you out there. And my challenge to myself to do things consistently is this Facebook Live. I'm going to do this every Thursday at 5 o'clock, as long as I haven't got a course or something on. And you'll see some other ways that I'm going to use this video as a strategy. So if you've got any questions about consistency, if you've got any ideas that you'd like to share about how you carry out sales activities on a consistent basis and your sales habits, then please put them in the comments below, and make sure you've liked the page so that you get notified of the new videos coming up each week. And next week I'll be talking about specific sales habits that if you do consistently, then will really multiply your results. So I look forward to speaking to you then. Thank you very much for listening, and bye for now.